Funky dope. Record. Funky dope. Record. Funky dope. Record. Funky dope. Funky dope. Record. Funky dope. Record. Funky dope. Record. Funky dope.
Welcome to the Uzziah Show. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, this is the show for you. Guys, I'm excited because tonight we're talking about Lil Boosie. Tonight we're talking about Boosie going back to school. Why is Lil Boosie going back to school? We're going to find out. And for those of y'all that are watching for the very first time, welcome. My name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt so you can start your own business. And I want us to focus on one of the most important stages of life before starting a business: going to school. Most of us go to college before we ever have a career as an adult. And I want us to focus on, is college still relevant? Does college still matter? Why is Boosie going back? That's what we're going to talk about on tonight's broadcast. So if y'all are on, please make sure that you smash that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment below so I can give you a shout out and show you some love. And if you really love this channel and you want to support this broadcast, then please make sure that you sponsor and donate by giving a super chat. All you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box. Now, let's get into this. I want to share with y'all a video from Boosie announcing that he's going back to college. Let me put this on the screen, okay? Y'all got to see, man, we hear a lot about a lot of these rappers, and every now and then we hear stories about celebrities going back to college, you know, starting up different programs. This is something that I want y'all to see.
14. And I love y'all. Y'all love my stinking dog, and I love y'all back. And I just want to tell y'all that
Shout out to
always been supportive
Shade
of
Room.
me, and
Fair use.
it's a big secret. I wasn't gonna let it out, but I'm enrolling in Jackson State next semester.
All right, y'all see that?
I want to see how it feel to walk around the campus, talk to girls with a book sack on. I want to feel normal. I miss that part of my life.
Yeah.
I love it. So I want to enroll and be able to walk down the thing and go to class and try my brain, because I still have matter up there that needs to be explored.
There we go. So y'all heard it with your own ears. Boosie is going to Jackson State University. For those of y'all that don't know, Jackson State is an HBCU, a historically black college or university. It's in Jackson, Mississippi. And Deion Sanders is actually the head coach of the football team there. I believe it was Deion Sanders Jr., his son, that was recording that clip. So the reason why I wanted to share this with y'all is because, is Boosie relying on college like we do? You know, is Boosie the type of person that's only going to stick with what he's learned from college like most people do? Or is he going to learn anything else? See, I want us to realize that Boosie is going to college the same way that most of us did, for social reasons, hoping that we learn something along the way. When y'all saw that clip, Boosie was talking about how he was trying to get back on college so that way he could feel normal. He could go and talk to girls with a book bag on. We just hope to exercise our brains somewhere along the way. And that's the reason why so many people graduate from college and still have a hard time finding work. I know y'all are thinking, oh man, he just talking about some celebrity stuff. Ain't no gems in this. Y'all know every time y'all tap into this broadcast, y'all are going to get some gems. Every time y'all tap into this broadcast, you're going to get another episode showing you exactly what you need to do to level up. So this is no different. I want us to look at this article because I want to show y'all how Boosie is actually on a path to go back to school for a lot of reasons that are not exactly tied to education. See, this is the thing. A lot of times people go to college for reasons outside of learning. And we often think that, oh man, you know what? If I go to college, I'll get a good job. If I go to college, I'll make a lot of money. If I go to college, I made it. But most people go to college not understanding that there's so many other ways to get ahead. So tonight we're asking a question: is Boosie going back to college still relevant? Is he doing this for the same reasons that we go back to school, or is he doing this just for fun and games? Okay, let's pull up this article. I want y'all to be able to see this. Y'all know I always give y'all the receipts. It says Boosie announces plan to enroll in Jackson State University. I want to feel normal, said Boosie. After a years-long career in the rap game, Boosie is returning to the classroom. The Baton Rouge rapper recently revealed he would pursue higher education at Jackson State University in Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi. I've been coming to Jackson since I was 14, and I love y'all, he said in a video recorded by Deion Sanders Jr., a current student at JSU. Y'all love my stanky draws, and I love y'all back. And I just wanted to tell y'all that y'all always been supportive of me. And it's been a big secret. I wasn't going to let it out, but I'm enrolling in Jackson State next semester. Now, I'm not going to read through this whole article. Y'all can check that out on y'all's own, okay? But I want you to see some of his motives for going back to college. So he said he wanted to feel what it was like to walk around campus and talk to girls with a book sack on. I want to feel normal. I missed that part of my life, so I want to be able to enroll and do the thing and go to class and try my brain. Okay, learning is only one part of it. But notice this. It says Boosie's desire to expand his knowledge comes nearly 8 years after he obtained his GED at Angola State Prison, where he served an 8-year sentence for conspiracy to smuggle drugs into the facility. A lot of y'all was around during that time talking about Free Boosie. His decision to complete his high school education, he explained, stemmed from his desire to be an example to his children and to make his mother proud. I want y'all to notice this. A lot of times when we go off to school, it's not because we think that that's going to guarantee our success from what we're learning. A lot of times people go to school because they're trying to satisfy the desires of their family and friends. It says his decision to complete his high school education, he explained, stemmed from his desire to be an example to his children and to make his mother proud. Now, I want to give a shout out to the brother Eric Thomas because he did the same thing. He talks about how he graduated with a PhD so that way he could put enough pressure on his son in order to get a bachelor's degree. He came from a background where everybody was dropping out of high school, him, his father, his father's father, and he knew that if he graduated with a PhD at the highest level, that would at least give his son enough motivation to graduate from high school and go to college. A lot of times when we go to college is for so many reasons beyond just an education. He said, I'm always on my kids so hard about staying in school and getting their education, and I ain't got a GED, Boosie told DJ Vlad. I wanted to do that for my kids and for my mama. I've been putting my mama through so much since I was small. It seemed like when I got my GED, that was one of the most happiest moments. I never saw her more happy. Y'all know black mamas love it whenever we go to school and we walk across that stage. That just does something to them, y'all. Sometimes something be happening in their heart. Oh my God, that's my baby. Oh my God. I wanted to do that for my kids and for my mama. I've been putting my mama through so much since I was small. It seemed like when I got my GED, that was one of the most happiest moments. I never saw her more happy, more than when I got famous. Me getting my GED, she cried. She had tears in her eyes. So basically, I did it for my kids to lead by example and for my mother. So I want y'all to question why people go to college. Are we going to college because we're actually on a path of success and learning, or because somebody told us that that's what we're supposed to do? Many of us grew up in households that told us, go to school so that you can make good grades, so that you can get good jobs, so that you can, retire when you're 60 plus years old, having a nice house with a nice picket fence. The college path does not guarantee that we'll actually live the life that we want to live. Now, I want to point this out to y'all just in case y'all are wondering where I'm coming from. I myself am a college graduate. I graduated from Baylor University in Waco, Texas, with a bachelor's degree in business administration. My concentration was in management information systems, okay? So I'm not knocking the importance of a college degree. All I'm saying is that a lot of us went to college not knowing what we were going to learn from it, but we were just hoping that somewhere along the way it would actually make us successful. Let me take a stop for a quick second to acknowledge the sponsors. Thank you so much to my brother Rodney Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, King. Really appreciate you as always, my man. please feel free to send me an email, my brother. Okay, as a thank you for all of your sponsorship and dedication to this channel, I want to give you a one-on-one hour-long consultation just for your support. So thank you as always, my brother. Really, really appreciate you, man. Always shout out to my brother Yasha Allah as well. All right. Shout out to the brother Yasha Allah. It's good to see you on here, man. Thank you as always, sir, for all of y'all support. For those of y'all that are just getting on tonight, we're talking about Boosie going back to college. Does college matter? Now, for those of y'all that love tonight's broadcast and you want to give back, please make sure that y'all show me some sponsorship, y'all. Please make sure that you tap that dollar icon directly below the live chat box, or you can send the money through Cash App or PayPal. The links are in the description below, okay? So now, let's talk more about this college thing, okay? In Boosie going back to college, is he going back to college so that he'll learn how to make a living? Or does Boosie already know how to do that outside of school? See, when Boosie is going back to college, he's going to college just to satisfy other interests rather than monetary gain. A lot of us go to college because in our minds, that's the only way that we can make money. And what I'm trying to show y'all is that even though many of us get college educated, we walk out of college not actually knowing how to build our career. And that's why half of the modern college graduates are still looking for work. Okay, I'm going to show y'all something. See, Boosie, he's in a much better position to afford college than most of us were. But I want y'all to notice how for a lot of college graduates, it is still very hard for them to find a career path for what they learn. This article says almost half of 2020 college grads are still looking for work. They said, I should be out of the house by now. Okay. So as we scroll down, it says Tabitha Palmer graduated in May of 2020 with a master's degree in English from the University of Alabama. And this becomes another thing. If you go back to college, what are you going to study? You know, whatever Boosie is going to study, that's on him. But a lot of us who don't have any money at all, we need to be going to school to learn professional skills that are valuable in the marketplace. If you're going to college just to take up some major that's not going to make you no money, is it going to be worth the cost of your tuition? Tabitha Palmer graduated in May of 2020 with a master's degree in English from the University of Alabama. The reason why I'm emphasizing this point is because I graduated from college with about $100,000 in student loans. But fortunately, as I was going through college, I asked myself, what are some of the highest paying degrees that companies look for out of college? Which degree plans are companies looking for the most, that whenever you graduate with this specific degree, they're willing to pay you a good 5-figure revenue out of the gate? Okay. And that's the reason why I graduated with a degree in IT, because I knew that it was going to pay after college. A lot of y'all go to college, you don't have no idea what you're going to study. You're just there to kill time. And that becomes such an expensive hobby. It's ridiculous. It says after completing her studies, she moved back home to Warrior, Alabama, smack in the middle of the pandemic. A year later, she's still living with her parents and looking for her first full-time job in publishing. I'm 25. I should be out of the house by now, but the circumstances messed that up. And the thing that we got to realize is just because she graduated during the prime of, you know what, that doesn't mean that anybody that graduates during another year is going to ride on Easy Street. The people that graduated during 2008, they graduated under hard circumstances. The people that are graduating now, graduating under hard circumstances. Okay. There's always going to be different circumstances no matter when you go to college. And as we can see from the economy, prices are going up. So if you're going to take the time and the money to go to college, you better make sure that it's worth your while. She said, I'm 25. I should be out of the house by now, but the circumstances messed that up. She also said she had expected her job hunt to take about 6 to 9 months, but you know what? Doubled it and made it a 1 to 2 year process. Palmer is among those in the class of 2020 who are struggling to get their careers off the ground or even land a decent job following the pandemic's epic hit to the U.S. job market. The fallout may also cloud the employment picture for the class of 2021, which is entering the labor force at a time the nation's jobless rate remains elevated. So, y'all, we have to really count the cost before going back to school. Now, to look at Ariel's comment, she said, oh, wow, that statistic is crazy, but I can believe it. Like you're saying, so many don't consider what their degree will or won't do for them. Now, Ariel herself went to college. See, we're not knocking this from an anti-college perspective. We're telling y'all as two college-educated professionals that even when you go to school for a good career path, it doesn't guarantee success. I know a lot of people that I went to school with that are still paying a ton of money on their student loans every month. So you better make sure that if you're going to go to school and learn something, it's worth your while. And as Oblivion PGW said, it's a very expensive hobby. So for those of y'all that are joining, make sure that y'all smash that thumbs up button. Make sure that y'all donate and show me some sponsorship. Tonight, we're talking about Boosie going back to college. Does college still matter? Should we be following in Boosie's footsteps? Or should we figure out what is going to be the best path for our life to get to success? See, Boosie already got success in what he's doing. He's able to go back to college as a luxury. But a lot of us wasn't going to college on an optional basis. A lot of us went to college because we thought that that was the only ticket out of the hood. I know I was one of those people. I knew that me getting out of Los Angeles meant I had to go to college. And that's why I actually got better grades in college than I did in high school or middle school, even though college was easier. The reason why I was most focused in college rather than any other point in my life is because I knew that there was no way I was going back to Los Angeles, California. I knew that there was no way I was going back in my mama's house because that wasn't the life for me. Rodney Lawrence said, hopefully Boosie doesn't become a distraction to the youth. I'm sure he will, even if he doesn't intend on being that type of distraction. There's so many people that's going to be jocking him. It's going to cause all kind of problems, y'all. Y'all know that that's coming. Boosie is going back to college, y'all. Is college still relevant? I want us to realize that 41% of recent college graduates are taking on jobs that doesn't require a degree to work. 41% of all college graduates are looking for jobs that doesn't need a degree in the first place. So when you look for a degree, you need to ask yourself, is this going to be worth the experience if I end up getting out of here, taking a job that doesn't even require a college education, and I'm still going to have to pay on the loan? There's so many people who don't graduate from college, but still owe tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. Whether you make the most of your college education or not, you still going to owe Sally Mae. These are the questions y'all got to ask, okay? And one of the things that I'm going to tell y'all, my student loans were one of the biggest barriers to my success. If I never paid off that $95,000 in student loans after graduating from college, I might not be on here today. And the reason I say that is because I'm only able to do what I do now because I got a job after college that was helping me pay off the student loans. And then I started taking this on as a hobby after I got off of work. And it wasn't until people started hitting me up that was like, yo, how did you pay off your student loans that fast? Can you show me how to do it? That hobby of me making YouTube videos actually turned into a full-time profession. You have to know the right steps to take and win in order to be successful. But we got to get out of this mindset that everybody's got to go to school in order to succeed. There are articles right now from the Wall Street Journal that shows that though most Black people thought that going to college was their ticket to success, that actually widened the racial wealth gap in America rather than shrinked it. There's so many of us that are taking on tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And because we have that much debt, we're not in a position to be competitive. We may have jobs, but the salary that you make from your jobs is not indicative of your net worth. Your net worth is the money that you have in the bank, not what somebody has promised you in a salary. So I want to open up the links right now, y'all. I think that we need to have a very important conversation about this topic. Is college still relevant? Does college still matter? Give me your thoughts, yes or no. Okay. I just gave y'all the link for y'all to click in the comments section. Make sure that y'all came up with me tonight because I want to get y'all's thoughts. Also, I want to be able to get some of y'all's comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on college. Let me know if you went to school or not. Let me know if you think that it's still valuable, because I think that this is a very important conversation. Even though I am a college graduate, I think that I could have had a successful path without going to college at all. Call me crazy, but many of the things that I do does not necessarily require a college degree. I'm in a career path right now that doesn't require a college education. I got, all this YouTube experience that don't require you going to school. And, there's so many people, they never think from a long-term perspective about, okay, well, if you end up going to college and then you get a job in this occupation, do you see yourself working this job for the rest of your life? Again, I got to shout out Kevin Samuels, because one of the things that he always talks about when he's speaking to sisters is when you constantly go to school, are you thinking about how long you want to be in that career path in general? If you're going to take out $200,000 in student loans, but you want to marry a man who can provide for the family solely once you have kids, was the $200,000 in college worth it? If you're only going to be working for 5 to 10 years, does it make sense for you to be taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt? A lot of us go to college because it's a big deal for our family lineage. A lot of us are first-time college graduates, and there's so many reasons beyond learning and success alone that we go to school. But if we're going to be successful in this life, we got to use critical thinking. We got to understand that this life is so competitive. We cannot do things like this just for the hell of it. So I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm saying focus on your education, but understand that there are other routes to getting educated beyond the university. Some of the most important learning that I've ever done was outside of a college class. Okay, so make sure that whether you go to college or not, you focus on learning in a path that is monetizable. something that you can see yourself sticking with for a long period of time. And if you do go to college because it's a must, then make sure it's a must because you're going down a path that requires a degree in the first place. You know, if you want to be a doctor, then you obviously need a college education because you need to go down that path in order to be properly certified. Now, my brother Yasha Allah, so good to see you on. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, shalom, big brother. How you doing?
Another day.
Yes. My daddy always told me, he said, son, college just gives you an opportunity, a better opportunity. That's all it's for. Nothing else.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, that you're going to school, you know you're making it being a doctor or something like that. You know what I mean? But besides that, he always told me, you can make it on your own.
Right.
If you study, and now today, it's too many online courses you can take or somebody else is teaching for the same thing. Because I'm in my field, and guys in the office always asking me, I'm an undergraduate, but how you do this? How you do this? I don't tell me anything. I'm not getting paid for that.
Right.
If you don't know me, you gotta pay me. You know what I'm saying? And brothers, it's so easy to give free information. Like, for what? But they'll pay somebody else $400 for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And give you $18. Now it's not gonna work with me. If you want me to do it, you gotta pay me. That's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? But
now, I just wanted to touch on this real quick. You know you be getting me going with your comments, brother. You know, there's such a big discussion that's happening right now on college education. Let me mute you real quick. There's a big discussion that's going on right now about college education versus online programs. And it's so crazy to me how people tend to knock online learning, but yet they will pay 10 to 50 times as much to learn the exact same information at a formal institution that's not even up to date with the times. Like, okay, if I were to go back to school again for a degree in IT, I would not go back to my previous college because the things that I was learning in college about IT was relevant in the 1990s. Like, you go to school just to be able to prove to an employer that you know how to stick with something, that you are able to receive instructions and follow a curriculum, and that you display certain competence. When I worked as a campus recruiting manager, and whenever I would hire people to work at jobs, I would always tell them everything that you're going to learn in this job is going to be on the job training. The things that y'all get taught in these college programs, you're not actually going to take that with you. Okay. And so it's crazy to me how, like, people will sign up for $50,000 to $100,000 degree plans and not learn anything that's directly applicable to the job that they are seeking, but then will knock a boot camp type program where for $5,000, you're actually going to be certified to be able to get a six-figure job in an IT path within the next 3 to 5 years. Like, there's such a programming on how we view education that stops a lot of people from even making the best decisions. A lot of people would rather spend $50,000 just to say that they went to school rather than getting in other educational paths that may not have the exact same prestige as a certain college, but you're actually going to be taught something that's going to stick with you for the rest of your life.
that's true. That's true. And just like, and I saw it today, she's a manager, but she's asking employees to show her how to do something. I'm like, I wouldn't show her nothing. I told her straight up, I wouldn't show. She getting paid. She's a manager and don't know how to do it. That's a message. You know what I'm saying? And she getting paid, and you an employee. You know what I mean? Wow. And we don't see that. You know, so like multiple languages. Two brothers online teach multiple languages. They're very good. They self-taught themselves, and they give classes little for nothing. And brothers don't want to pay for it. Oh, I would go to school and pay $45,000.
Right.
But this guy showing you speak multiple languages at one time. The brother speaks, I think, 20-something languages, like that.
You know what's so crazy to me, sir? It's so crazy to me that people will sign up for these college programs and they'll never question the experience at all. But then they'll sign up or be presented with another program where you got all these different testimonials and results of people winning, winning, learning this, learning that, going off and making the money. And they'll look at that as a scam, but then they'll sign up for a program on something that has no guarantee that you will make money from it at all. And yet the college experience does not come with a money back guarantee. I want y'all to think about what I just said. College does not come with a money back guarantee. A lot of y'all will scoff all these different programs and different courses and seminars that other folks be pushing. But many of the legitimate programs that are out here actually do come with money back guarantees, whether it be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You can go in and try the learning. And if you don't get results, you get your money back. Do you know how many people go to school every single year that have spent tens of thousands of dollars and they don't get $1 back from the experience? Why you don't have that same energy when it comes to college? Because again, like I said, this is a programming. And this is the reason why I was just using this Boosie example to show that a lot of times when people go to college, they're going on cruise control. We try to act like we're going to college because we want to be smart, but a lot of us know we was going to college just to chase women. A lot of us know we was going to college just to get out the hood. A lot of us know that we was going to college just to be able to waste time. We were not ready to embrace real life as an adult, and we needed a bridge from high school, to get into other forms of learning. Now, I want to look at a couple comments right now. For those of y'all that are on, please make sure that y'all smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about Boosie going back to college. I'm asking the question, does college still matter? Some of y'all may say yes. Some of y'all may say no. Kim McGregory says, hi, family. Love the topic and the convo so far. I'm neither an opponent nor proponent of college. Some people feel pressured by parents or school counselors. Others see it as a normal next step. Now, I really like what you said right here, Kim, because I was one of those guys that did feel a certain amount of pressure to go to college. My mom went to college. My father went to college. My brother went to college. So going to college was just a, thing that ran in the family, right? It was an expected next step. But college is not the answer for everybody. I am college educated. I benefited off of my college degree. I'm not knocking the college experience, but I think that one of the problems that we have in our community is that we oftentimes tell young, gifted kids that if they're going to be successful, they have to go to college. And we see this in other communities as well. People will disown their children if they don't go to college and make a 4.0. And we got to understand that there's other opportunities. Some of the wealthiest people in the world don't have a college degree. Bill Gates dropped out of college. Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of college. What college degree does Henry Ford have? We got to understand, y'all, that the reason why the school system was created was to create workers at jobs. The school system was not created for you to be the owner. The school system was created so that way you could make the owners wealthy. Y'all got to look up the history on that. When you look up the history about the Industrial Revolution, When factories were established, there were too many people that were losing their life working in factories because they were not educated enough on how to maneuver at those facilities. So what they did was they established institutions of learning to teach compliance. They knew that if people were properly trained on how to be more compliant and obedient to a system, that would make them more effective at their 9-to-5 jobs. That's the reason why every school in America has a pretty standard work window, just like 8 to 3, just like you will work at a 9-to-5. We have the school bell. It's centered around obedience. It tells you when to get to class, when to get up, when to leave. All of that was to train and program us to be effective workers. Kim McGregory says, I am an educator and I can tell you that all learning does not take place in a classroom. Facts. For a lot of us, we understand a lot of the learning that you're going to get is going to be hands-on. There's certain things that you do need to study in order to learn the skill, but you don't know whether or not you are effective in your learning until you go out and do it. I could study things about computers all day, but it's not until I get hands-on with the computer to know what's what. I could teach somebody how I do what I do with online broadcasting, but they will not know the material start to finish until they practice it themselves. Okay. And this is the reason why so many people are talking about going to trade schools, because being a practitioner is what is valuable in the marketplace. Shout out to my sister Avia. Sister Avia said this is a great topic. Good to see you on, my sis. Kim Davis says, a teacher told me that college was the biggest scam going on. Hey, y'all heard it from her. $100,000 tuition, no money back, 4 years or more in order to graduate. A lot of y'all be having y'all lip poked out about a $50 course with a 60-day money back guarantee. Come on, man. Why are we not actually using critical thinking for ourselves? Why is it that we are so caught up by outdated ways of thinking that we never challenge what it means to truly learn? I want us to really figure out that we have to learn in the ways that are most effective to us, whether that means going to college, taking a class, taking a online class, right? Reading a book, attending a seminar, getting a mentor, going to a mastermind. There's so many different ways of learning. And I really suggest that if you really want to be successful in this life, you take on at least 3 forms of learning or more. So I actually encourage aspiring business owners to not shy away from enrolling in a college class. Mark Cuban, a billionaire, always tells people, hey, you really need to learn accounting. It's not a problem for you to take a class, but I think you should also educate yourself through reading books, through finding mentors, through going into in-person business sessions so you can see other people hustling in the moment. If you're just watching somebody through a video screen, you're not getting the full picture. Okay. So y'all, let's make sure that we keep these sponsorships going. All right. The last time that I saw a sponsorship come through was about 30 minutes ago. If y'all love this broadcast, if y'all love what we're talking about, please tap this dollar icon directly below the live chat box in order to donate, okay? Whoever has the highest donation will be the official sponsor of tonight's broadcast, okay? Shout out to everybody that has donated thus far. Shout out to Rodney. Shout out to Yasha Allah. If y'all are going to be the official sponsor for tonight's broadcast, it's going to require a $25 sponsorship, okay? I always take the highest sponsor and they become the official sponsor of tonight's show. But whatever you donate is going to be greatly appreciated and I will shout you out. So let's go back to these comments, y'all. Again, I know the comments is buzzing on this one, but for those of y'all that do want to get on camera, make sure that you cam up. Yasha Allah, I didn't have you on the screen this whole time. Please forgive me, my brother. Anything else that you wanted to throw out here?
Yes. Remember something years ago? I don't know if you remember. Remember about they had a thing going where they was finding out all these college graduates didn't even have a degree. They printed online. Remember that?
Wow.
I don't know if you look at the history. It was a lot. College universities, jobs, high executives. They was getting caught that they didn't even know their job because it was printing. And you can go online right now. You can print you out any college degree online. You can print it out today. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but they didn't go to college.
Yeah.
They didn't go to jail. They didn't go do anything. They says nothing wrong with it because 90% of jobs do not even check.
Right. And
they just don't check.
And that's what's so crazy to me, Yashala. It's like, when I graduated from college and I worked in my IT job, wasn't nobody caring about where I went to school. You know, I put all of that stock in. Oh man, I'm a Baylor graduate, top 100 school. I'm working with guys from India, Singapore, China, Israel, and nobody is caring about a college degree. The only thing that they cared about at that job was, can you get the job done? And there's so many of us that we put so much stock into this thing, man, that we don't realize it's not about the degree. It's about the value that you can bring to the marketplace.
And that's true. You know what I mean? It just like, you know, like you say, like degrees also you said earlier, a lot of degrees is just penniless. People don't understand that. I mean, people, if you're going to school for business management, I hate to tell you, nothing but toilet paper today. You're going to work at Popeye's Chicken or something like that. I'm sorry to tell you, it's worth nothing here. You know what I mean? But specialize in the business. They have different degrees. People understand that.
Yes, sir.
Business degree, business management degree in executive finance or so-and-so. But if you're just going for basic business management 4-year degree, listen, it's never toilet paper. I hate to tell you. You got Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's. That's all it's worth today. Because a lot of degrees back then, yes. But now, some of the degrees is nothing but toilet paper. That's all it is.
So let's start looking at some of these comments. I want to get your thoughts. So Kim McGregory says, college teaches people to be employees, not owners. I worked in the corporate world while raising my children. Then I decided to become an entrepreneur. Wow. So we have very similar stories. You know, I graduated from college. Then I started working at Hewlett Packard, which at the time was the largest technology company in the world. And after 6 years at working at HP, I went on my own. I said, man, if I'm working this hard for somebody else, why don't I do this thing myself? I was working about 60 to 80 hours a week in corporate America, only getting paid for 40. But, you know, a lot of us, we put so much stock into college as well as the corporate world that we never try to apply these things for ourselves. And let me throw this out here also. You don't have to do this thing full time in order to be an entrepreneur. You could just have something going on the side. Like there's a lot of guys right now that does content creation, all kinds of things just as a side hobby on top of their regular work. I want you to see also, Avia just said, so true. If you can learn the skills without going into debt at a college, then why not try some of these programs that are out here? I mean, man, if you can learn a book, if you can learn some content from a book that's $5 to $10, I would much rather get that than take a college class that's like $500 a session. When I was going to Baylor, each class was $100 a session. Do y'all hear me? If I missed one class, that was $100 that I was throwing right out of the window. And there's so many opportunities. I mean, there's so much game. That's another thing that y'all got to keep in mind. And this kind of gets y'all tripped up also, but I'm going to go into it further. There's so much game that people are putting online for free. And when you look at a lot of these authors as well as content creators, You're looking at people who are actually among some of the most skilled people in an industry. So you have access to highly trained professionals that are condensing some of the most powerful information that they've ever learned and putting it into a book or a video. 20, 30 years of training, they're condensing it into smaller bits of content. So that way you don't have to go through that entire experience yourself. You don't have to go through the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of college. You can get some of that information right there. But where a lot of y'all end up getting slipped up is you end up convincing yourself that everything that I need to know is online for free. That's a myth. A lot of y'all really fail to understand that there's still so much valuable information that is still backed behind a paywall. Listen, y'all, we're still living in America. Do y'all really think the way that this economic system is set up, all of the information that you need to know is going to be sitting online for free? If you think that, you're playing yourself. And one of the things that I want to say on this also, sometimes it is valuable to pay for things, not just because, one, you're actually going to get the information that you need faster and more organized, rather than trying to scour the internet from sun up to sundown to try to piece together the information. You also have to pay attention. That's another level of game that a lot of y'all don't realize also. That's some Patreon level content. The things that you get for free out of this life, you take for granted. The things that you pay for, you value more. So if people gave you a house and a car for free, how well do you think you would take care of it? You tend to find that the harder you had to struggle and grind for something, the more that you tend to appreciate it over time. So sometimes it is good to pay for information just so that way it's a means of holding you accountable. You pay to pay attention. Like I just said, when it comes to my college degree, I showed up to almost every class because I understood I was going to be holding the bill for those classes, whether I went to college or not. Either way, Sally Mae don't care if you go to class. They just want to get paid. I needed to go to the classes because I needed to get a return on my money. What I'm saying to y'all is the reason why so many of us are not leveling up is because we tell ourselves all the information is online for free. That's the reason why you never watch it. That's the reason why you never take the time to actually sit down and take the notes. That's the reason why you don't hold yourself to the same level of accountability and discipline as you would have done had you been enrolling into college yourself, signing up for a $50,000 tuition program that would stretch out over the course of the next 4 to 5 years. A lot of times you have to pay attention. And, you know, Yasha Allah, you got to tell them that, man. If you don't pay for it, sometimes you don't value it.
And that's true. You know what I mean? You have to pay to win. That's the way it is. Nothing's free. No air, no water you drinking. The air you breathing today is not free. Look at the EPA environment codes. You have to pay for all that. And people think it's free. It's not free. Your water's not free. Nothing is free. I'm in the industry. I know everything they haul, you're paying for it. Your penny, computer, your drink water, your cup. You know what I mean? Because that's just the way it is. This is an economic system.
Absolutely.
That's it. And there's no school on the planet that teaches you to be your own boss. Like you said earlier, to work, do this, do that, A, B, C, iRobot. Don't think on your own. We're not here to teach you that. We're not here to guide you that. We're here to teach you automobile, electrician, woodworking. That's it. That's all we're here to do. And when you step out on your own, you start seeing different things different. Like, I can do this, I can do that. Whether it's your own small business, you can do it. You know what I mean? Even if it's hands-on, you can do it. I like hands-on most of the time. That's just me. You know what I mean? But like you said earlier, when I went to college, I went for one reason, man. My dad was a cute. You know why I went. That was it. That was my mind. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I did learn comprehension. I tell everybody else, learn comprehension skills. That's a must. If you can learn that, you can learn anything.
I want to touch on something that Ariel just said. She said, I agree that college is not for everybody. In my opinion, college works well for those who are intentional about using that experience. Other communities send their kids to school simply for networking. Now, I think this is something really important that we need to really highlight. A lot of our community, I'm talking about Black folks, a lot of Black folks have parents that tell their kids just focus on education. But when you look at other communities of people, they'll actually tell their kids, hey, don't just go here just for the degree. Go to network with kids who come from successful families. Make sure that you find your spouse before you get out of college. I keep telling y'all, when I went to Baylor, a lot of the Caucasian girls that went there, those with European descent, their families were telling them, you're not only going for your academic degree, you're going for your MRS degree. Like, that was a real big thing at Baylor, so much that if you were a Caucasian girl and you graduated without a man, it was almost looked at like a failure, because part of the reason why your parents were investing for you to go to that particular college in the first place is so that you could have access to a network with other high earning people, so that way you could kind of keep money circulated amongst those families. We got to understand, college is a business. It is not a school. It is a big business backed behind billions of dollars. Okay. Y'all got to understand, the student loan industry is a $1 trillion bubble. Y'all keep telling people it's about learning. Meanwhile, everybody else is there to get paid. And even when we talk about, what school is like for us, I got to tell y'all, I would have never met Ariel had I not gone to college, most specifically Baylor University. See, you could go to certain state schools or you could go to community colleges, and that experience is one way. But I know when I went to Baylor, you're looking at the cream of crop of people that come from good backgrounds. Ariel's father was a very successful salesman in corporate America. He sold software to large corporations, and her father had paid off her student loans. I mean, she paid off her tuitions. She didn't need to get student loans at all. So when I think about some of the opportunities that come from college, I don't just think, okay, the greatest thing that I got from college was learning. The greatest thing that I got from college was the network that I joined. Like, for example, Yasha Allah, Azaniah. Azaniah went to Baylor. That's how we met each other, through college. I was exposed to a certain network of high quality people that came from good families that you will hold on to for the rest of your life. So even if, for me as a college graduate that graduated with a good GPA, if I had to rank in order the value that I got from college, it was network first. And I still don't know if education was second. There was just, I would say network, life lessons, maybe education comes third. Because the education that I received is not what I apply in my day to day. So you guys got to be very intentional, like Ariel said, about what is it that you're going to gain from the college experience. I know I've been having you on all night, but it's been seeming like you've been vibing with me. Is there anything else that you got before we end the show?
Yes, because I can feel you, everything you're saying, because like my dad graduated from college. My dad graduated, and when he graduated 2 degrees, period.
Yes.
One in business and one in psychology. So that's why I got to keep it funny, because I was with my dad learning psychology also with him. So I know psychology. Not in depth, but I know what they're saying, what they're trying to figure out. And he married my stepmom, which I love, college degree. When you join these fraternities and sororities, like you said, it's not about the Greek culture mostly. It's about the networking.
Correct.
So when my daughter went to college, it was just easier for her. She missed college. Shout out to Tipton A-Back. Shout out to Kennesaw. She finished at Kennesaw University.
Yes.
She missed the, I forgot what it's called, with entry fee to get the your dorm, because she would have a good time with my cousins up in New York and Detroit.
Right.
So she can't. Nothing I can do is you missed it. What you call it? So my dad, hey, got your dorm, cause the network, like you said, you know what I mean. He called another brother or sister. You know what I mean? Kennesaw. She couldn't mess up because he had tabs on her.
Right.
What she do? Cause that's the network to make sure she graduate. That's all it was. Keep her on the path. But You're right. It's about, like, I'm focused now on, like you said, I cut a lot of people off, like you said. All they want is free information, even in credit. When you cut them off, hey, do you want some consultation?
Yeah.
I give you 30 minutes free. After that, you got to pay for it. Why you change? Taking up my time, bro. I got to cut people out. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something about that? I'm sorry, sir. I just got to say this. You know you be getting me, man. So many people will reach out to me asking me for help, having never watched my content on YouTube. And I always tell them, I've already talked about the subject. Watch this video. Like, I'm telling you, man, a lot of times we as a people, man, we will complain about everything that's going on in society, but we don't push ourselves to make the most of the resources that we're given. So a lot of times whenever I'm working with somebody, I'm only going to invest my time into a person if I know that they're serious. Have you watched this video that I did on this subject about how to get a better job? Because when you come to me asking me questions on how to get another position, all I'm going to do is repeat to you the same things that I've already said. My time is valuable. But for a lot of our people, man, it's like, oh, you're not available to me 24/7, all for free. Shame on you. Who do you think you are to want to charge for your time? I'm giving you 99% of my time for free on an online broadcast. All this knowledge that I put out on this channel almost every single day is purely free. I ask y'all on a voluntary basis, hey, if y'all really getting something from this, give back. But the majority of the people that consume this content get it on a free basis. But that be the reason why so many people don't do nothing with it, because they get it on a free basis. A lot of times I would tell my clients in the past who even were paying me, I did a disservice to y'all because I didn't charge you enough. I should not have charged you $29. I should have charged you $2,900, because $29, if you spend that amount of money, you're not feeling a real loss. But if you get a $2,900 invoice, you're like, yo, I better watch, every second. I better listen to everything. I better apply every last bit of my information because I need to get a return on my investment. I keep telling y'all, whenever I got into things that required more time and more money, that's when I brought more of myself to the equation. When I didn't have anything to lose, I didn't care. And it's so sad how people think, man. A lot of people think that when I just said that about the $2,900 to $2,900, oh, he's trying to get one over on the people. Look at him, how he's scamming them. Don't do it. Keep getting all this free. Then when you wonder why no one is paying you, don't be mad. When you spend your entire life trying to hustle and game somebody else, and then that comes back on you, don't come to me crying. A lot of y'all don't understand. You'll reap what you sow in this life. And when you make an investment into life, life will then give you a return on that investment accordingly, y'all. But again, see that a lot of this game that we talking, you got to actually go through a lot of things, Yasha Allah, to understand it. A lot of people that hear what I'm saying right now, they're not fully going to feel it. I'm just being honest. They're not going to feel it because either they haven't lived through the experiences themselves, or they just have not yet gone through enough pain to know that what I'm telling them is true. They've never been in a position to where your success depends on you learning something, and because you weren't focused on it enough, that's the reason why you didn't get to the money. Real quick, shout out to my sister Ariel. We got another one, y'all. Thank you so much, Sister Ariel, for the $10 sponsorship. Really appreciate you, my sister. All right. For those of y'all that are just now joining, we're talking about Boosie going back to college. Is college worth it? Okay. Does college matter? For some, the answer is yes. For others, the answer is. So that's why you need to examine whether or not this is the path for you. Now, Yasha Allah, I'm about to take you off of here. I just wanted to be able to get these last little comments. Kim McGregory says, as an educator, I am a student for life. And I really want to salute Kim McGregor. Shout out to Kim McGregory. Kim McGrory, she made such an incredible comment because this is how we should all view education. Whether you go to college or not, you need to be a lifelong learner. Just because I have a bachelor's degree in a promising industry, it doesn't mean that I rest on my laurels with everything that I learned. I understand that if I am not constantly learning and growing by the day, my knowledge will be outdated. A lot of the things that you will learn right now in 5 years from today will be obsolete. So you have to stay committed. You have to stay learning, okay? Because the more that you learn is the more that you earn. So right now, a lot of you guys need to think about, well, maybe I'm not making the kind of money that I want to make because I don't know enough about a specific industry. You got to put yourself out there to learn however you need to, whether that means going back to college, whether that means finding a mentor, joining a program, whatever you need to do to learn, you need to do it. Okay. Kim says, as an educator, I'm a student for life, learning from every experience, conversation, opportunity. That's the best way to learn, my sister. Shout out to you. She said, I tutor. See, that's what real learning is about. She said, I tutor children all over the country right now. And she would only be able to do that online. She couldn't tutor kids all over the country through a brick and mortar. She would have to have online access to be able to tap in and connect with people all around the world. And that's the reason why I keep telling y'all, you need to start to invest in online learning, because online learning, it gives you the access to be able to tap into the best among the best within an industry. If you went to school just like I did growing up, you were only exposed to the people that were in your surrounding community. So whatever knowledge that they had, that's as far as you could go. But if you want to learn math now, you could learn from some of the smartest people in math all over the world. You could learn about math from people in Asia. You could learn about math from people in Africa. You could learn about math from people, in South America. You could learn from some of the brightest minds all around the world. You're not limited. And a lot of y'all don't realize that when you only go through a traditional path, you are very limited in terms of your learning. Jim Rohn, who was the godfather of professional development, he said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. And the reason why so many people end up falling into the ever-fading middle class is because they're only willing to learn what their professor taught them in the school system. After they graduate, they say, hey, I don't have to do anything for the rest of my life. Now, just to get some of these last comments real quick, and thank you so much for that comment, showing a sister much love. Yasha Allah asks, Kim, do you have a website or Facebook? Yes, let's definitely tap in with you, Kim. You know that this is all about, us being able to support each other, okay, and recycling our dollars. So if you want to get in on this network, sis, please make sure to plug your content here. Again, I'm giving y'all a link for y'all to cam up. Never be afraid for y'all to get on this show and talk about all of the great things that you're doing to serve the community. Okay, so thank you so much, my brother Yasha Allah. You definitely been great on tonight's broadcast, man. Lord willing, I'll see you on the next show. All right, now. All right, y'all. So listen, we've had an incredible broadcast, and there's so many great comments. Kim just said, I'm gotta get this one. I live in Pennsylvania. The Ivy League college here has $1 billion endowment, and they pay no taxes. College is big business. I'm trying to educate the people. I hope that they're listening. You're getting this from an educator herself, okay? For those of us that are actually in the business of educating others, we're showing you how the game is really played, okay? And again, I want to highlight this part also. A lot of us focus so much on price, but as wise investors, we need to focus on the return on our investment. So when I went to college, I could honestly tell you guys that me going to college was worth it because the amount of money that I made off of that experience was worth the money that I put in. The relationships that I garnered as a result of going to college far outweighs the price that I paid. So for me, going to college was worth it. Not everybody has that same experience. So what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is don't just look at the price tag and say yay or nay based upon that. Don't focus on the cost, focus on the value. A lot of y'all pay $150 for some tennis shoes, but you won't pay $15 for a book that'll be delivered to your front door to change your life. We have our priorities in the wrong place. Focus on what you're going to gain from the experience, whether it is $10 or $10,000. As long as you're getting a ROI, it's all worth it. Okay. So listen, y'all, I think that we done talked on this thing long enough. Hopefully, y'all got a lot of great gems. If y'all love tonight's broadcast, please do me a favor and give back, y'all. I get online 6 days a week to do this show, giving y'all my time, my energy, my labor of love. All I ask is that if y'all got something good out of tonight's broadcast, a good, nugget here and there for you to take and run with, please give back so that way I can keep this show going. All you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box, or you can donate through Cash App or PayPal. The links are in the description below. Okay, y'all see the information at the bottom of the screen, $ the Uzziah Show or paypal.me/the Uzziah Show. Listen, I ain't gonna charge y'all $100,000 like what I had to pay to go to college. All I ask is that if you benefited in some way, just give back on the strength. All right, y'all. So I'm going to give back to y'all, even if you don't give back to me, okay? As a way of saying thank you for tuning into tonight's broadcast. I'm going to give y'all these 2 free stocks sponsored by Webull. Webull is one of the fastest growing financial brokerage companies in the world. And the great thing about Webull is that it allows you to not only invest in stocks on that platform, you can also invest in cryptocurrency. So for those of you guys that are trying to get in the game as investors, please make sure that you check this out. I put the link in the comments below. All you need to do is set up the account, and then those 2 free stocks are all yours. If y'all want to know anything more about what it takes to succeed, check out my free book, The How to Succeed Survival Guide. This book will show you how I went from being a college graduate working in corporate America to being a full-time entrepreneur, real estate investor, and best-selling author. I'm outlining the steps. All you got to do is learn it, okay? So if y'all want a copy of this, I'm going to put the link in the comments below. All I need is your name, your shipping information. And then once you put in that and cover your shipping, then I'll send you the book, okay, by next week. So all y'all got to do is just click that link and then y'all will be good to go. All right. So for those of y'all that are watching this broadcast still, I want to give a big shout out to everyone that's sponsored. I want to give a big shout out to my sister Ariel, always holding it down. Thank you so much, sis, for that $10 super chat. I want to give a big shout out to Rodney, as always, holding it down. Thank you, Rodney, for the $5 super chat. All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate the sponsorship. Shout out to my brother Yasha Allah, the top sponsor for tonight's broadcast. Another $20 super chat. Thank you so much, my brother. Really, really appreciate you, man. I appreciate all of y'all for all of y'all sponsorship on tonight's broadcast. And if you love tonight's broadcast and you want to watch more shows, then please make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you can receive an alert whenever I do another show. I do these broadcasts 6 days a week. Oh, I'm broadcasting tomorrow, y'all. If the Lord allows me to see another day, I am broadcasting tomorrow, okay? There are no days off. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this business, and I ask for y'all support along the way. So please be your brother's keeper and share these shows. If y'all get benefit from it, guys, please make sure that y'all sponsor this channel and donate. Thank you so much, Kim. You said you are a follower of the show and keep the family informed. I love y'all, and I pray that y'all continue to have a blessed night. I'll be back on here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, for those of y'all that are tapping in with me, I'll see y'all then. Until next time, guys, keep pushing.